Alright, hi guys, this is Comedy recording another PvZ, and this game's a PvZ on Luna. And this game I recorded because, well, I found some puppy that said he'd go lurkers versus me, and I wanted to show you guys how to break out of lurker containment really easily. And so this game I'll be focusing on doing my not my Ser DT, but basically, yeah, a Ser DT type build, because I'm going to be going okay, this is really effective because if you listen to this really carefully, and repeat this 5 or 6 times if you have to, with Ser DT, if they're going lurk containment, they basically need scourges to kill your observers, and then they need zerglings to kill your units. They need zerglings to take the damage, and the lurkers do the damage, and overlords to scan your observers. And so basically, if you do Ser DT, then coursers take the damage from the scourges, and he needs to keep pumping scourges, but they're not going to have enough gas to pump scourges and lurkers at the same time. So basically, yeah, if they keep pumping scourges, then they're going to have minimal lurkers, and you're just going with like 4 or 5 observers and rape like that. But they usually stop pumping scourges after a while, and then your coursers kill the overlords, and then you bring your observer in, and then the observer in TT basically kills off zerglings and lurkers. And that's a really effective way to break out of lurker containment. That's what I usually do to break out of containment, except the strat I do, it tends not to be, the only thing that counters it is basically 2 hatch mutas or something. And so that I don't worry about lurking containment that much. So yeah, but if I playing pub games like this and I want to just fuck around, then yeah, lurk containment is really easy to break out of with Ser DT. And I'll show you this game that I'll do Ser DT. I told this guy to go lurkers against me, and he said he would. So I assume he won't be that newbie and like try to win with like some other thing. And yeah, I'm just talking to friends in my chat, and I saw he made his hatchery first, so I'm gonna go freely make my nexus. Lots of protoss players think you need a forge first, like despite whatever. You basically have to retaliate. If they go hatchery first, then you have to go lurker sorry, if they go hatchery first, then you have to go nexus first. If they go pool first, and then you have to go forge first. If they go double expand, then you can go gateway before forge if you want to, but I still go forge and just try to cannon them and take off a base like that. Because if they go triple expand, then you have two places that you can cannon, which is really helpful if you want to cannon them. And especially if you do forge first and then they go double expand, then it's really easy to cannon one or 2 bases. Except then they're still gonna have 1 base, and you're still not gonna. Well, it's not like it's bad. It's still really good, but why not just have a nexus up earlier and take out a base? Because unless they just make 1 drone, lots of zergs tend not to chase your probe. I don't know why they don't do that. I think Zerg needs like all their minerals. That's why they don't. But I just, well, if I play Zerg, whenever I play Zerg, I chase the probe because I'm used to playing with protoss and cannoning my opponent, and that's really helpful. And again, I'm scouting to see if he's triple expanding or not, so I can cannon a base. And I don't think he is, but anyways, yeah, your first scout needs to stay in to see if he's going speedlings or not. If you see him going early gas with speedlings, then you know to do something about it. Make an extra cannon, make more zealots or whatever. You don't want to just stay with whatever you're doing. Again, he has stopped getting gas, or he didn't even start getting gas, one or the other. So I know he might be doing speedlings. So I'm just going to keep this probe alive for a little longer to see what he's doing. And again, sometimes it does die. Oh well, most people tend to do the Stargate first anyways, because that really helps, and that can scout them in time to see if they're going lurkers or mutalisks. But it's going to be too late to see if they're going high speedlings, because you're probably going to be getting fucked by them already. And if you're a Zerg, as you can see, he took my gas. And if you're a Zerg player, this is really key. If you can scout the protoss player in time, taking their gas is really key. Especially if you have 2, by any chance, if you're a Zerg player that takes 2 scouts to scout the enemy, if you can take both their gases, it is extremely helpful, because then they have absolutely no possible way to attack any further than zealots and cannons. So if you can take the gas, it's basically like a huge advantage. Lurker containment will work so much better if you take their gas. Also, mutalisk will work as much as better, because if you can take out one of the cannons in their bases, you're basically going to be really ahead, and all it costs is 100 minerals from those 2 things. If you're a Zerg player, I highly recommend you take the Protoss's gas, because it helps so much when you're containing or when you're going mutalisks. Basically, all Protoss can do is just massively go zealots, and that's it. So all you need is a few sunkens at your own base, and take the gas, and they're pretty much fucked up. Like, as you can see, he's taking my gas, and I'm gonna. If you took both guesses, I'd be pretty much fucked. But right now, I can still get my Stargate up and get back economically properly. But if you took both my guesses, I'd pretty much be fucked because I wouldn't have my Stargate or any gas at all, and I'd be having to waste 10 probes because I wasted 5 over there, and I'd have to waste 5 at the other base to attack attack the extractor. And as you can see, it's really helpful. All you're wasting is 2 drones, and they're basically wasting a shitload of probes. And again, Zerg does need his probes, but if you take the ratio into consideration, then you're getting so much better out of it than they are. And again, +1 early, talking about that for a bit. Lots of the Protoss players think it's really good to have, like, you're going to win the game if you do early +1, and they, like, suicide, like, what, they don't want to get, like, a few temps or DTs for +1 early. That's really foolish of Protoss players, from what I think, because, okay, well, I know it is foolish, because +1, okay, Mondragon, for all you guys who know that is, top Mondragon, he is a good Zerg player, and his build order is basically carapace, 2 seconds later than early +1 weapons for Protoss, and that basically disables early +1 weapons for Protoss. And +1 weapons is not that effective because in reality a +1 carapace would only come half a minute to a minute later than +1 weapons, and as no Zerg is stupid enough to like attack you while you have +1 and they don't, you Zergs just can run back to their sunkens and wait for them to get +1 carapace and then move out. And Zerglings are only used in like Zergling, like mass amount of Zerglings are only used in like speedling plays mostly. It's Hydras, Lurkers, Mutalisks, that type of stuff. Like +1 early is nothing big. Like it's no big advantage for a Protoss player. Don't think just because you have it you're gonna win. There's one build order that has leg and +1 finish at the exact same time, and that's really helpful because that gives you a huge advantage because you have both upgrades for zealots and you can basically run them over with mass zealots. There's a build order to that, but that's the only way +1 is actually really good. And this guy said he'd go Mutalist Lurkers against me, but being a fag that he is, this is why I don't rely on East Pups, because they never, like, they bullshit you so badly, like, they're desperate for wins or something. Like, I have 800 loses, and I guarantee you if I played all my games properly, I'd be having, like, a 100-2 record, or around there, because I never lose to these noobs. But yeah, he's being gay, and he wants to win, so he's gonna go Mutalist versus me. And he's not gonna win either way, because he's, like, a fag, and I'll rape him. And okay, now I have to stall for my cannons to come in time, and I'm not gonna have enough time to stall because he's gonna get there in time. But whatever. If they go Mutalist, you want to get Archon rather than the 2 temps that you usually get. If they go Lurkers, then you want to stay with the temps and Storm, or just DTs is what I do. But yeah, again, he's gonna try to take out my shit, and he will succeed. But so now I'm going to have to run all my probes from that base to the other base. But since he has all his Mutalist over here, and I played Zerg for a year or something, and I know how Zerg build orders are, and I basically know everything about Zerg. And now I know he's not going to have anything at his own base except like two or three Sunkens and like, 10, 20 Zerglings or something. And he's going to have to retreat his Mutalist to get back into this game. And so, yeah, he's going to be fairly behind like that. And again, I'm just going to wait for my Archon to finish, and when this finishes, it'll rape like all those Mutalists. And as you can see, he has like 2 Sunkens and 10, 20 Zerglings, and yeah, he has to retreat his Mutalist to come to win this. And as you can see, he is retreating his Mutalist in the mini-map. And so those Zealots all are going to die, but whatever, I can secure my base now, I can make cannons, and this Archon will defend me until all these cannons are up, and when the cannons are up, I'll just use this Archon and attack him. If you're going Mutalist and just going mass Mutalist, I tend Zerg not to do that because if Protoss cannons get up and then they have 3 Archons, then it basically turns totally, like they're playing fully defensive, and it goes like after all your Mutalists or after all the cannons are up, they basically go fully offensively then, because then you're pretty much fucked because no matter what, you're not going to hold Archons. Archons basically rape Mutalists and Zerglings, so if you're trying to go Mutaling, it's basically fucked up by just mass Archons. And then obviously you have access minerals, and then Protoss can easily just go, like, I don't know, GG.